Friend, let me. If you not want betrayer, find a friend, let me. Find a friend, let me. Find a friend, let me. If you not want betrayer, find a friend, let me.
Bombe oh, find a friend, let me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend, let me. Bombe, find a friend, let me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend, let me.
Hey, see bestie, the bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie da la bestie, find a friend, let me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend, let me. I hear them say they want me go. I say,
Some of them say they want me go.
I say,
Some friends you la oh oh. Some friends you la oh oh. Some friends you la oh oh. Friends you la oh oh. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie da la bestie, find a friend let me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend, let me. They won't step on my blessing, but God get it breaking, yeah. They won't call it my blessing, but God get it breaking, yeah.
Friendship, see friendship. Can't see Papa T friendship. And I want no back for friendship. Wangolo, eh, wangolo. Wango for bestie, wango for daddy, wangolo.
I hear them say they want me go. I say, I hear them say they want me go. I say,
Some friends you la oh oh. Some friends you la oh oh. Some friends you la oh oh. Friends you la oh oh. Hey, see bestie, the bestie not friend but my bestie. The bestie da la bestie, find a friend let me.
I say, see bestie want.
Yeah. Christoph the King. I'm back on these egotistic politicians. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, we're gonna control your soul. I thought they said I let control your reach, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. It's just the way that we live. My people still acting like braves. See, y'all need to change all that evil mentality. You won't receive him again. Let's change the way that we eat. Let's change the way that we think. See, I'm from the ghetto, where kids not that wasted. If you can smoke, you can drink. I know you been to America, but I just came from Soweto. Cause that by easy, the living is hard, but we still survive in the ghetto. When the government steal that embezzlement, the government people are problem. I swear to God, who gonna solve them? I swear to God, who gonna solve them? When you get money, you holding your brabby, you jack out to have on your product. I still for the girls and the boys in the ghetto, the ones with no money to eat, man. They spend millions of dollars on guns, tuck your way our infrastructure and loved ones. 9 out of 11 with crumbs. Where I'm about to raise up my daughters and sons. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, we're gonna control your soul. I thought they said I let control your reach, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem. I see no peace among all you politicians, but we got peace in the ghetto. All my people show me love. Yeah, we got love in the ghetto. The country too hard what to do. The Bobby because but what they can do. You send your boys in my who? Excuse me, I'm talking to you. See how much you spend on your coat and your glasses like you don't even know the rules. See how many people are dying for hunger. See how much you spend on your shoes. Hey, wait. So please come and investigate. I done found out analysis. These politicians be changing their subjects and predicates. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feed your boy mind ribbon. See him chilling with my ex. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feed your boy mind ribbon. See him chilling with my ex. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way out to reach and see my dreams. All I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, we're gonna control your soul. I thought they said I let control your reach, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee. I hope I'm not in problem.
Fuck out TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Fuck out TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Fuck out TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Fuck out TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Fuck out TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep fuck off.
Yeah, you know, one God will take them from Ghana to Liberia. Yeah. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday.
Me, I wanna party your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. I wanna party your party, papa. Me, I wanna party your party, papa. Party, oh, party, oh.
Girl, we got some energy and babies on the table. I just wanna spend my money, baby, do me bang bang. Girl, I know you flexing and I know you cruising. I just wanna show you good time, don't refuse me. I don't wanna walk, my energy stick fire. Give me your love, don't do that. I just wanna give you all my love. So I don't wanna lie, baby, now your body give me ginger. So while we alive, baby, when your body give me ginger. Woman, your body they ginger me. I wanna give you service, come hire me. Turn up the party like we do it in a Miami. Girl, your pepper they enter me. Me I just a week for you. Make we take a shot for two. Baby, come, I don't wanna lose. You will leave a girls in the party, but I choose. Make we dance, make we jolly and booze. Everything they fall in place. Now they make your girl wind up your. I don't wanna lose. You will leave a girls in the party, but I choose. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we chillin'. You can drink anything on me. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. Kapagia bezo we ballin'. buggy, I bet we're chillin'. You can drink anything, so I don't wanna lie. Baby, now your body give me ginger. So why we alive? Baby, when your body give me ginger. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday.
Your body, papa. I wanna party your body, papa. Me, I wanna party your body, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I wanna party your body, papa. I wanna party your body, papa. Me, I wanna party your body, papa. Party, oh, party, oh. Me, I just a week for you. Never take a shot for two. Baby, come.
The most one.
Don't ask me, I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set. I just wanna know, I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just want to do my thing and I here for CCP. He said, Caro, I said, Jack, I see something. What they now investing me? The Brabilla wait for me. I only get 15 minutes. Let me play till the fire finish. Oh my God, I got big ball, I got good ball. Look at it, money not there, but I get love. Why you want? All the other niggas so back. Billy pump. I don't wanna hear no trash. Billy pump. Catch him, boy. See yourself. Catch him, boy. See yourself. Big up, Rustin in la biva. In la biva. Rustin in la biva. And I know about it, don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set, don't ask me. Don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set. I just wanna know, I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. Me, I got money, my lips stay. And I got time for people issue, yeah. I don't wanna be in the crowd. No. I don't have time. I don't wanna know who you are. No. I can eat pepper color. I know what a problem. Don't bring my pepper color. I can eat pepper color. I don't want no trouble. Don't bring my pepper color. Yo. And I won't kill myself, and I won't kill myself. Y'all leave me, let me enjoy myself, let me enjoy myself. I said, and I won't kill myself, and I won't kill myself. Y'all leave me, let me enjoy myself, let me enjoy myself. All the team over, and I know about it, don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I was now there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set. I just wanna know, I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance.
Oh man picking anything. Okay, get my brabby bottle water like drink. When I bottle water, I'm one of my big legs stay. Oh brabby. How can you know that you not know I put it? When you say answer, you must alley exclusive. Love is sweet and sure I know. So I enjoy my life. Because anytime I can go. Leave you and leave me, let me do me.
The other weekend I will enjoy myself. The way they be in the start going, I will feel myself. My money I'm finna buy money from yourself.
So I hate the club. People were dancing, but I choose to say myself because I went there for something. Then I saw they find get what king, I won't go ask it. I say let me try my luck and see. Maybe she agree. And I cry I come to see someone who I let them holler. So I talk to myself, let it be your man. Mamu fair you go be your man, you go be your man.
So I walk out the door, I say fine girl, hello, what you doing? She say fine, what you drinking? She say shinta, I say partner, get what tin. She like wow.
Nete thank you. Baby, don't thank me, you deserve it. Oh, queen, that you deserve it. When you want some more, I provide it. So we start to talk. Conversation going deep and deeper. Putting thought to each again. Be like living sense in her brain. Anything I thought like, baby, let go now. She say, we going to my house. She say, where Banavero? She say,
She agree from waiting down. We are now. I want operate. Choose I'm gonna blind little door. Me when I get it down. Oh,
when she talking for a jet, I thought I was a joke. When I go back there again, she thought I think I think again. I won't force it. But when I force it, man, that rape that crime will go to jail. So I play my cool, I choose to leave it. When I go, I will show happy. I will go to people, I will show happy. Ah, for that is a hero.
Take Brennan, she go on and she call me on my phone. Oh, baby, I'm gonna send my mobile money no more. You send me money, I'm calling pepper soup.
I'm gonna send it or I'm gonna send it. I stay there, I won't send it, but I choose to send it. So I told her, say, text me the number, I will send it. Then I send it. More she called me, said to say thank you. I said, let me call her to confirm it. Then I call, she said she received it. Then she hold the phone for my ear. Chaletta. Then I call her back, she say, how I never back. Minute later, she text me again. I must send her dollar card.
I think it take me a bit. Anyway, I send all the card again. I did not nothing. I send it.
We gon' pass again. Me and her, they will follow again. I look at her, she look at me. I was passing by her, then she hold my hand. She said, speak to me and you not made no palaver. I said, speak at first. She said, play alone. What your story? I say, I get story. She said, let's pray together now. I said, you and who? Believe me, man.
At the end of the day, we stay sitting together. We had the same conversation. We chill the same way again. She agreed to follow me. Now again, my crib.
Yeah, so we hit my crib. She said, give me water, let me bathe. She came from the bathroom with towel all around her waist. Then she lay down on the bed. I'ma lay down too. And I make her move. When she can say, hey man, I enjoy myself, I can go to the house, we go again, I enjoy myself. I really enjoy myself.
Since she left the crib, I call mom pass by, she call me. Oh baby, why begin call me again? I said nothing. Oh, say you going out to that, I said no, I'll be busy. Oh, if you say that thing one day, you already get it now. So you don't be bad. I didn't know, baby, they're not here. I really busy the feed it.
Fuck out TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Fuck out TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Fuck out TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Fuck out TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Fuck out TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep fuck off. Fuck out TV. bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. For God TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. For God TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. For God TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. For God TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting.
Yeah. Christoph the King. I'm back on these egotistic politicians. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. It's just the way that we live. My people still acting like graves. See, y'all need to change all that evil mentality. You won't receive, you must give. Let's change the way that we eat. Let's change the way that we think. See, I'm from the ghetto, where kids not that wasted. If you can smoke, you can drink. I know you been to America, but I just came from Soweto. Cause that by easy, the living is hard, but we still survive in the ghetto. When the government steal that embezzlement, the government people are problem. I swear to God, who gonna solve them? I swear to God, who gonna solve them? When you get money, you holding your brabby, you jack out to have on your product. I still for the girls and the boys in the ghetto, the ones with no money to eat, man. They spend millions of dollars on guns, fuck your way our infrastructures and loved ones. 9 out of 11 with crumbs. Where I'm about to raise up my daughters and sons. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. I see no peace among all you politicians, but we got peace in the ghetto. All my people show me love. Yeah, we got love in the ghetto. The country too hard to do. The Bobby because by that what they can do. You send your boys in my who? Excuse me, I'm talking to you. See how much you spend on your coat and your glasses like you don't even know the rules. See how many people are dying for hunger. See how much you spend on your shoes. Hey, wait. So please come and investigate. I done found out analysis. These politicians be changing their subjects and predicates. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feature for a mind ribbon, seen chilling with my ex. Everybody need a flex. Your citizens need a flex. Government will feature for a mind ribbon, seen chilling with my ex. We need to switch it up, people. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. The way that we living is evil. I'm on my way now to reach it. See my dreams, all I see is diamonds and gold. But when I wake up, I see my people selling iron and coal. Ego, walking a country ya so. I thought they said I let country ya rich, but how come my people are poor? When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B, the K, the Lee, I hope I'm not in problem. When the government steal our embezzlement, the government people are problem. They will be the J, the B.
Fuck out TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. For God TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. For God TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. For God TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. For God TV, located at Tobo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep fuck
Well, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, this is how we want to welcome you to today's edition of Inside District number 13 here on Foci Online TV. Time check in Gardnersville. Gardnersville is 5:26. I'm your host proxy Mohammed Vani Kane, and I will be here along with Mr. Solomon Chipo. Solomon Chipo is expected to be the son of former Chief Justice Chair Chipo, and we've gotten to understand that Mr. Chipo is a representative aspirant here in District number 13, Monserrado County, and he's going to be learning his thoughts on some of his workings over the course of time, the recent happenings there at the president county tour here in District number 13 as well. So we will take a short break, wherein we will bring to your screen that of a video podcast from the August 19th incident where involving Mr. Chipo, Honorable Edward Papi Flomo, as well as President's Excellency George Manewia.
Thank you. No, we can't let them ask Can you tell a no. I mean, lying all day. Oh, I have a right to do it. No, listen. Because you're not going to be watching. No, how to? Look at this. Look at this. The president. I'm Solomon Chipo. Chipo? Ah, no. now on the now. We tell the radio on the action that you are telling particular program somebody who is an MC all the way to explain what you say. He start with telling you say everybody program will get 70,000. How can you manage a process where a single company is producing money to the community? We are not going to the first year master my everything and tell people, it's a serious matter. It's a serious matter. You can say anything, but that doesn't mean you are saying the truth. So, Mr. President, first of people, I want to take the entire time. Please ask for the floor to relinquish control of our community's money. We want the community leadership to control our money, not you. But you say on the very clearly, because somebody may be angry, but back to target not going to be. The central government quest for development has to be pressure by him. So if we have a situation where there is a family coming and putting money for the community.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was just to give you an insight from the background of the conversation wherein we are drawing our content from. We already have with us in studio our guest. He's going to introduce himself as well as to give a brief synopsis of who Solomon Chipo is, what has been his involvement over the years, and what have you. So Chipo, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. So basically, I am Solomon Chipo Sr., the political leader of Team Chipo, and a representative aspirant for District 13. As you may be aware, I think our last engagement with the visit of the president, which basically went viral. A lot of people are talking about it all around. You know, from all quarters, people are happy.
I think we just need to take the conversation step by step.
Okay.
So perhaps you could just introduce yourself, some of your workings, and what have you over the course of time.
Okay, so we started our engagement in District 13 when we established the Friends of Solomon Chipo in 2019 at the end of 2019.
Okay.
And basically, when I resigned from the United States Army and I came back home and set up my company called 91 Bravo, I decided to advocate based on what, everything that I saw going on as far as giving back to the community. Everything we saw growing up, especially in District 13.
Okay.
As far as corporate social responsibility is concerned, giving back to our people,
all right,
has been basically the same way it has been the entire time. So I thought it was important to, use my company to start this advocacy for corporate social responsibility, because most of the company all around, not only in District 13, they have been giving back to communities as they feel like.
Okay.
So, say for example, the Semenco, there is no fixed requirement that mandates that they should give a certain amount, to the people who live within the direct vicinity of their company. So, for example, whatever they decide to give is what they usually give. So
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments. Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world.
Will be hired to do those same community work that we are talking about. They will be compensated for it. So, say for example, there was we got $20,000 for like battery factory, maybe $12,000. The company that we're going to hire to come to do that piece of job, we have to hire some of our young people in the community to form part of the workforce for the implementation of that project. So basically, from the issue of providing extra tutoring for white students from like a school across the street called the Wisdom of God, we've been providing that for 2 years. Those are just some of the other things that we've been doing. Okay. From people inviting me personally to high schools to give motivational speeches. Last year, I did almost 9 high schools. The New Georgia Gulf Women Under the Tree organization that needs empowerment, and we have to make financial contribution to them to empower women to learn some skills. So basically, we've been working with groups, institutions, and the community at large, based on specific requests that have been coming to my office to do little things here and there for them.
Okay, to hold you to the point wherein you talk about empowering young people.
Yes.
How are you going to go about a form of systemic recruit in doing that to ensure that whatever objective reach the targeted young people?
If I got your question right, I think the issue of youth empowerment, as I said, will be captured in that basically that law that I'm talking about. Also, I also have a company here called 91 Bravo, and we've been employing a lot of people since 2019. Even we had a lot of construction projects that have been going on, and we have been hiring contractors to do mostly young people to provide those services that we need. We know it may not be able to get all of their needs, but at least try to put food on the table to get somebody focus on a given piece of job so that they won't be involved in other negative things from the community. Schools, scholarships for young people, we've been providing that. As you may be aware, I was just certificated by this Bishop Little School right beside you here. You can do your research and find out if what I'm saying is true.
Okay.
Relative to providing tuition assistance for young people around the district who have asked for that type of help. We do not have millions and millions of dollars to solve all of the problems. I'm just going to say that. But I think the political will to do something for the people that you are going to be representing is critical. So we will continue to try our best with limited resources that we have to do what we can do. There are a lot of other things that are earmarked that I've completed that if I get the chance, I will be able to name them specifically. I did itemize them right here.
Okay. One ask where do you enjoy your fascination for politics?
Well, basically, I was born in a political family. So my starting from my grandfather, he was a town chief. From there, my uncle was chief of defense council. Also, my father, as you may be aware, was a former senator for Nigeria County.
Okay.
He worked in all 3 branches of government as a senator, minister of justice, and chief justice. So everything I heard growing up, a lot of people, because of my what I use as a stepping stone in the United States to be able to transcend over the hurdles that people face who are coming from other countries to be able to succeed in a very short period of time. The military life.
Okay.
I use that as a stepping stone. But my original motivation was because I grew up in a political family. Most of my uncles and my relatives were in government. So everything I heard was about politics and law while growing up. I even had a chance to serve as Secretary General of the Progressive People's Party.
Progressive People Party.
PPP.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
Yeah.
With looking at your fighter as your icon, in terms of the political layer of Liberia, where do you stand in terms of the political structures? You find the progressive, you find those. While it's true that we understood that your fighter first came from that of the Truth Party, but again we saw him going down of the progressive community, the PPP, and what have you. So where do you stand in terms of the political layers of Liberia?
I think I'm always going to side with the progressive because initially what they advocated for, giving a history with the True Party that control our country for a very long period of time, and having a situation where the masses of the people who are supposed to who constitute the majority to be able to participate in the decision making process that affect their life, they were suppressed for many years. So to see guys like my father who would come and be the lawyer to even tell the president, because that our constitution declares all civil servants to pay taxes. So if you are the president, you're supposed to pay tax, for example, or to champion the cause to say our constitution provides that Liberia should be managed as a multi-party democracy. So to have one party for over a long period of time, where other people political dreams would be stepped on, is not the way forward. The way forward is to have many political parties to have. This is the beauty of democracy. One of the things that we cannot take from our people, for them to be able to exercise, because as you know in Liberia, everybody has a view. Everybody, even a Copa seller gave you. You get a chance, he will become a politician in less than a few minutes. You put a Copa on one side, you ask him what is his view, he will tell you very straight. So I think that's the beauty of democracy, and that's something that we all need to continue to harness as we strive to keep our country going forward.
But one argue, we listening to you talking about that of the pluralism of Liberia's democracy and that of one party stay into power. If you see one party stay into power, one party could stay into power on the basis of continuously being elected, and or one party stay into power without election. These are two different scenarios. So wherein we have a democratic space and you have the re-election of a political party, isn't that a form of democracy?
If we go into free, fair, and transparent elections, for example, you have a democratic process where one party is dominant, and the rules and regulations surrounding the electoral process, as far as the fiscal requirement, the financial requirement on the part of you know, the people who are going to be running for office, the people who want to establish political party to discuss the future of the country, who probably have a better plan to put forth. If you have bad laws in place, for example, in this coming election, say if the election commission were to say independent candidates should provide $20,000 as, for example, it's just an example, for whatever fee, and I might be able to afford it, but then there could be a guy who is more qualified than me, or who has a better vision, but because he doesn't have money, he cannot participate. In that, that's not a proper democracy. We are saying there should be a level playing field for everybody. It shouldn't be as a lot of people say in our country, oh, I don't want to know the president, so we don't want to know the president. No. For example, the president, while I was saying down there, the president is for all of us. I think the fact that we have our different views, necessarily, does not mean that we hate anybody, but we have views and we have to say it. The fact that you don't know me personally should not, be something that you want to use, but you should give me the chance and let's interact. Let's get to know each other. Then you can have a more informed view of who I am, as opposed to sitting on the fence and just hear that, oh, Mr. X is like this in a political process, and you don't want to even take the step to find out and investigate what happened.
So your father fought for political pluralism, as you claim, and you seem to be a remnant of political pluralism. How do you see the democratization of Liberia pluralistically under the we-led government?
Well, you can see what happened from even before I start on the WEA's administration. 15 political parties were deregistered under the early regime, including the PPP, the party, that was Secretary General. I wasn't here. And I think, in my view, a lot of people complain that, there shouldn't be a lot of political parties, there should be only a few political parties.
Was that the reasons of the absence of the PPP in the 2005 election?
I think so, because I wasn't really here, but I remember that did not meet the requirement. Those political parties, including the PPP, did not meet the election commission's requirement to have offices in a certain amount of counties and to have $15,000 bank balance as a political parties at all times. They could not. Different parties could not meet up with that, so they were deregistered.
So how do you find that?
I think in order, given our economic situation in this country, if you are going to be stopping people from exercising their political rights as citizens just because they don't have money, I think front to us, because we already have a country where a lot of people are remaining unemployed, and you can bear with me. Political parties are supposed to be managed based on dues that are paid by the members of the political party. So if you have a political party in a country where a majority of the people are unemployed,
okay,
so how effective, as far as finance is concerned, are those parties going to be able to make the necessary? That's why we have a situation where most political parties are controlled by the standard bearer. Basically, he's the one that
the chief financier,
the chief financier and patron. So he makes most of the decisions and stuff. That's why we're having the fights in political parties, because when you have people who are already used to a certain behavior, when they have other people who can also contribute to the party progress, then you have an array of different competition, and then usually everybody wants to be on top. That's what's happening around. So that's why
you surface that to present a case in the CPP.
Yes, and everybody has its own view. Nobody wants to be second emotion. Everybody wants to be on top, and all of us cannot be on top at the same time. I said to myself, if I felt that I'm not part of the CEC, so if the president comes, I really don't pay attention to it. No, I have a responsibility as a citizen and as somebody who's going to be representing people to, be tolerant, to listen to what the president has to say, or to be able to sit down and talk about things, or to be able to engage the president in a way where, we can be able to identify some of the problems that our community face, so that we are not seeing the president every day. For example, I don't work in the president's office. I don't see him every day. And even if I, based on my personal view, if I were to write a letter, asking for orders, the likelihood of that happening is far less in my view, based on what I see going on around here. So,
but someone will argue that the president is a listening president.
It's a what?
It's a listening president.
Well, I will agree to some extent, but then listening and then trying to disagree based on party differences is something that I personally have a problem with, because the essence of listening is to be able to understand the truth of the matter and to be able to make a positive response in regarding that matter that has been discussed. So if I were to provide a cogent information to the president, and the president does not say anything about it, nothing at all, whether, we need to sanction an investigation to find out what Mr. Chico said is true, or if this was true, you guys need to make sure you put it under control. Those type of things. If you don't say anything about it.
Didn't the president listen to you on the 19th of August?
Yeah, but if you follow the news, you know what happened. The president has made me popular because he had a different view on how, as an individual, I should have proceeded. I'm not sure, why he would think that.
But the one the president was responding to when he said, "Bana, you feel bana."
No. The president said I should have used a diplomatic approach to the current representative of.
So what necessitated the whole upsurge?
So like I said, the president came to District 13 on this town hall engagement with the residents of District 13, not seditious specifically. This was not a party convention that was sanctioned for only seditious to say nobody has the right to go there, only seditious. No, the president, as I listened to him in his last presentation at the in Logantown District 15, said that he wanted to be re-elected for the second term, and he wanted to have he wanted to complete his projects that he did not complete. That was exactly why he wants to do the second term. So when he decided to come to District 18, I thought it was important for us to go down there and flag out some of the problems that we face in the community, given the nomenclature that he has, that is about unity, it's about reconciliation and all of that. So I sat there for almost 2 hours and a half waiting for the president. And the president came, and when we saw the program sheet, I was surprised because usually in town halls, meetings in other countries, when the president comes to talk to his people about different stuff, there is a chance given after everybody else speaks. There is a chance given for even students, who would come and say, Mr. President, my name is X, Y, and Z. I'm from this high school, and as a student, these are some of the problems that we are facing in our schools. And would you please be able to pay attention to some of these things? Yeah. Even let's say an old lady who had some problem with her leg, who had been trying to get support for many years and she did not have it, but because the president to visit, maybe she might get the opportunity to get a better treatment. Okay. Those are the things that I'm talking about. That was not provided. Maybe that woman could be given a chance. She would say, Mr. President, my name is Mark Pana, and my foot has been hurting me for more than 5 years, and they told me that I needed to do A, B, C, and D.
But wherever the president is, whether it is specifically a formal program, I do believe, or you agree that there are set protocols. Mm-hmm. And people argue, I think,
yes,
anti-Chiapo.
Yes.
They argue that you were included in the program to speak. Uh-huh. But how come you were forcing your way into the program to speak?
So, when leaders are expected to do what is right, and especially those leaders who have been in the vanguard claiming that there was a need for change, and we gave them a chance, and now they are supposed to be the proponents of change, but yet they don't want to do it, then we have to resort to some radical approach. When I say radical approach, it does not necessarily have to be violent. No, it does not have to be insults. It does not have to be fighting. No, but we can use our militant voice, and that's what I used that day.
So you're a militant?
Of course, I've been a militant a very long time. It's always going to be a part of me. But just to clarify that, I was sitting when Honorable Flomo spoke. He talked about a lot of things which I didn't agree with, and then he said, and then after he concluded, I got up and proceeded to the front, and then I tried to raise concern so that I can get the president's attention, because all of those guys that were there at the program organizers, most of them work with Papi Flomo. So they wouldn't have given me chance, even if they thought it was important, because there is always this fear that people are against him. They don't know that you can be competing with somebody and still be able to sit down professionally and discuss issues. It does not necessarily mean that everything is going to be negative. So they did not want to give him a chance, and it was very important for the people of District 13 for their issue to be flagged out. So I called out the attention of the president, and the president recognized me, and he did authorize him to have me to speak.
Okay.
So even though there was an existing protocol, but I requested. So, and the president, who is one of the top persons there, decided that it was important for Mr. Chico to be heard. So I was given a chance to speak, which I did. And I'm not sure why everybody is crying, oh, Mr. Chico. Mr. Chico didn't just walk from his seat straight on the podium, grab the mic, and started speaking. No, Mr. Chico called drew the attention of the President of the Republic of Liberia, who in turn recognized him and authorized the MC to allow him to present his story. And I did that.
How do you feel about the whole incident?
I feel good because not only did I address the issue of my community and my district, but politically, a lot of people are talking now because they have not seen that engagement, which was not violent, which there was no, there were no insults, but progressive, militant voice, military voice was used to draw the attention of the president. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Solomon Chipo. Solomon Chipo is our guest here today. He's a representative aspirant, Montserrat County, District number 13. If you are following online, whether through our YouTube channel or our Facebook handle, the number to call is on the screen. You can call in and make your input, whether it is a question or whatever it is that you have to post to Mr. Chipo. You can post that to Mr. Chipo, and he's going to address that. So Mr. Chipo,
yes,
I hear you. I hear you continuously talking about militant politics. So in terms of training, the rudimentaries of militancy, you will understand on the national political scene of Liberia, militancy to some extent is being vulgarized. How do you feel about that?
Well, I disagree because in every different country there are different types of approaches in whatever militancy that want to be applied. My school of thought is that it should not be violent. It should not be insults. No fighting, no insults, but just clear presentation of the issues very forcefully. When people who are complaining now, during the 12 years of early administration, were crying around here that there were issues that our country faced and it was necessary for change. They were parading the streets with a lot of indecent things. If you were around, you would know. They even had caskets of the president of Liberia saying that was a dead body. Nobody complained. Nobody was arrested. And other things that I cannot say now. Very indecent things. Everywhere the president went, there were militants from the Congress for Democratic Change going there and acting indecent, which I frowned upon. And I did not apply that when the president came. I was only able to draw the attention by raising my voice, to draw the attention of the president to look to my direction, to see where I was standing. And when we had eye contact, I made him to know that there were some sticky issues about District 13 that we needed to talk about. And he thought it was important to allow me to talk, and he authorized that, which I went and did.
From the book, one who argued that militancy is a form of political ideology relative to leveling politics. So where do you stand? Is your militancy just, forcefulness, or is it ideological?
Well, I think for my specific case, the ideology behind mine is that it should be free from violence, it should be free from insults, but it should be based on the forceful presentation, verbal presentation of issues. Because people, especially in our country, do not like to hear the truth. And when you say it with force to them, they become disenchanted. And that's the situation of what happened at Kibra the other day.
Left or right on the political divide, where do you stand?
I'm right in the middle.
You're right in the middle.
Yeah, there are some things that I agree with for the far left, and there are some things that I agree with from the right. But I think the beauty is for us as citizens to be able to have our specific views. And when it comes to our country, we can always come together and share ideas. We can disagree to agree. So I'm not against any specific person because I have no reason to be against them. But when it comes to the core issues that affect our district and our country, if that problem is coming from the right, then I'm going to have a problem with them. At that time, if it is coming from the left, of course we're going to flag it out. So people should cool their temperature. They should not be angry that when leaders go up and say, "Hey, these are the challenges that we are facing, and you guys need to do something about it." I think we should be commended for that, because District 13, nobody except the people who are from the ruling party were the ones that were allowed to speak. And everything I heard was basically telling the president thank you, giving the president key.
So you thought that
giving the president thanks for something that happened in Lofa.
There was a need to disagree.
There was a need to flag.
You said something that happened in Lofa?
Yeah, somebody said.
So is it to say that the stage was stage managed?
It was. That's why I told the president that if you watch the video, I said, this program is stage managed, and we are not going to sit here and allow people who we are going to be competing with to tell us that what we can do and what we cannot do. If we are not going to be violent, if we are not going to ring insults, but we just want to present information to the president who is for all of us, not only seditions. Because I really don't care, even if he doesn't say anything good about me. But I know he's the president of Liberia, so I have a responsibility to engage him very constructively. I don't have to tell him all of the good things. I don't have to tell him, "Oh yes, boss man, thank you for they want." No, if I choose to go different on certain views, I'm entitled to that. So most of those people that were crying foul and say Mr. Chipo, shouldn't have said what he said, most of them are seditions, and they are not used to that. They are not used to people telling them the truth.
Seditions are not tolerant.
You saw them chunking stones, right?
Wait.
You didn't see? I was stoned.
At the program?
Yes. After I spoke, and the president came and said, "Mr. Chipo, you should have used a diplomatic approach." And then he also said, "During your father's days," I'm not sure which history he read, but he said, "During your father's days," I'm not sure whether it was my father himself or he was referring to another group, but he didn't make that clear. "You would have been put in jail for speaking to your own president." On what charge? Did I insult anybody? Did I fight anybody? No. Did I draw the attention using a political approach? Yes. To make the president to pay attention to me and ask him very clearly that I needed to say something, and he granted. But a lot of people will just go around, say things, that they want to say, which is not true, which I think should not be the way out.
Perhaps the president was talking about your father days during the PRC.
I think so, maybe. But if he's still wrong, because my father did not have direct control. The PRC was controlled by the People Redemption Council. My father was in jail. Like the next day, he was supposed to be put on firing squad. My father was taken from the LMP headquarters, only in underpants, naked, with handcuffs, and from LMP headquarters all the way to South Beach, disgraced because only he was advocating for change, because he was the lawyer for PAL, Progressive Alliance of Liberia.
Are you anticipating power to pursue justice for your father in your own thought?
No, not really. I think we've passed that. I don't think so. I think we have a lot of important issues for our country. I have kids. I want them to live in a better country. I want them to know their roots.
But the debate for the War and Economic Crimes Code is still alive.
I support it 100%. Let me say it now.
Is it that it is in your interest?
Not really, but it's not my personal interest, but in our country's interest.
Okay.
Because let me just put it like this: if you have a country where people kill people and they are living around, in fact, they are being appeased, they are being given jobs. A country like that might not see the beauty of all of the cracks that they've been making over the years, unless justice is served. The cries of those who have been killed in this country should be appeased. So I'm not going to say let bygone be bygone, because we all know that justice is the way forward. If somebody stole in this country, and they want to do investigation, it's on you. It's going to be your worry, because we know that the only way this country is going to be developed, the only way this country is going to move forward, unless we put our foot down in the fight against corruption, and that is punishing people who are stealing from our people.
So, Mr. Chipo.
Yes.
So I think we are running out of time. We've already passed 6 o'clock. So to wrap up, what do you have to say to the public, respectively the people of District Number 13?
Well, we remain well posted in our fight to emancipate District 13 and bring about the necessary changes. Come 2023, when I'm elected, I'm looking at having a building, an administrative building that will have our district office, a permanent seat of the representative for years to come.
Okay.
We want to also have a high school and a clinic. We want to have something called a district protection force that will help to manage the affairs of the watch teams in the 38 communities.
But what if you don't win the elections?
We'll still try our best to do that, because remember, if I'm not elected, I'm only doing things on my own, one man. But if I'm elected, the portfolio, the office, has its own benefits, and it has. The program that I'm advocating for, called the National Travel Program, because of my personal engagement, because of everything that I had to go through in Liberia, to the point where I had the opportunity to travel, and what traveling has exposed me to. I want other Liberians to have that same opportunity. So hopefully we can pass that law come 2023 to make sure that a certain amount of people in every district should be able to travel and get out and learn new things and become more educated, so that we have a lot of people, because the institutions and that are supposed to push Liberia in the short term or the long term are limited. For example, the issue of vocational training. We only have the biggest is the MVTC.
Yeah,
and I had somebody from MVTC. Yeah, I had somebody from MVTC that said they had a diploma and they were supposed to do some little construction for me, and they didn't do it well. So I'm beginning to think that a lot of people are just going to school just to get the paper. They do not have, because the influx of students has caused the curriculum to not be implemented the right way. So a lot of people will have to just go through MVTC and come out and say, I'm a plumber, or I'm a builder or whatever. And then when you give them a contract, they cannot perform. So we're going to use our oversight to ask the hard questions. This issue of electricity, making sure that the Liberia Electricity Corporation do what they're supposed to do. Because electricity in our country has been politicized. People think they can bring lead bulb, Chinese lead bulb, last minute to time, and use it to fool the people to say, oh yeah, I bring current for you. But it's not your personal responsibility to do so. You have a statutory government agency called the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Get on their back and make them to do their job, so all of us can get current, not just the selected few, because you alone cannot do it.
Are you speaking to Honorable from?
Yes, I am. I'm also advocating for an act establishing an independent drug court.
Independent drug court?
Yes, because as it is now, when people who are involved in drug trafficking are arrested, they just take them to or just at the criminal court A or B, and then the same person you took there, maybe you are a DA agent and you took that person to the court, that person can file a bond and get out in just like a few seconds. So we are advocating for the independent drug court. We also want to make drug trafficking a non-bailable offense.
I was just about to ask that.
Yes.
So if drug becomes a non-beatable offense in
Yes.
terms of maybe false accusation, how do anybody can be falsely accused? How?
What about rape? Anybody could be falsely accused of rape, but you still have to be in there until the case gets over. Those are some of the things that we just have to put our foot down to start, to raise the awareness to our people that this cannot be allowed. You see a lot of Zogo all around here. We cannot just tell them you are Zogo, you are not important in society, and you shouldn't be a Zogo. But what are the programs that we do have in place that when that person is turning away from the life of being a Zogo, that they can turn to? So the issue of rehabilitation also is critical. Um, I think, you know, if I had time, I would have talked about some of the things that I did in specific communities. For example, the Chocolate City community, if you heard, um, Team Chipo provided the highest amount for the Chocolate City community elections, $110,000. Even though a lot of people are saying, oh, Mr. Chipo didn't do the one, I cannot do everything alone. Remember, I'm not the one that collecting 30K. So it is incumbent on the person that collecting 30K to do more than me, but still you're not doing it. I'm struggling to make things happen. Taking my personal benefit to use it for public use, just because we want change, we are pushing for change, and we feel that we can do it better for our people. I think the fact that a lot of people always say what we can get from you now, because a lot of politicians have been lying to us. So what we can get now is what they're concerned. It's not a good thing for our democracy because a lot of people will go credit all around.
Assuming that you are elected representative district number 13, how are you going to go about from the political normal of political patronage to welfare legislation?
I think there are a lot of things that we need to look at, but the argument now, the trending issue now is a lot of people are saying we should start to make our people from being dependent on things like welfare, for example. So why it is true in specific areas like the healthcare sector, there's a lot of subsidizing that we need to focus on there. There was a lady that just came, that just died in our community a few days ago. She came, she been sick for certain, I think 2 weeks, and then they didn't have money to take her to the hospital. She herself didn't have money. So
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Still breathing, and then they refuse the person. So, my brother, we can, cry here and say, oh, we want to do blind loyalty and stuff. By the end of the day, there are a lot of things. I'm advocating for establishing a clinic. If I'll have to lobby personally to travel, because in the 21st century, in a country like Liberia, you need to have a representative that has international connection. Not a representative that can go and be denied. Because trust me, I alone cannot do it.
So who was denied?
You want me to call him?
No, you are American. You are American. I understand that.
No, that.
You are federal corny?
No, not that. But at this time, it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary to do that. No. So I was just voting for today. Because Mr. Chipo, every time Mr. Chipo hit the point, everybody cried. Oh, the man had no right to say this, no right to say that. But at the end of the day, this is our country. 2023 is a competition. And the beauty is we are all going to compete. It's not going to be easy. But at the end of the day, if the incumbent is doing everything right, and all of the people of District 13 are satisfied and no problem here, then fine. Okay. But if people did not do what they are supposed to do, if people made promises that they did not, fulfill, then they are going to be put out.
Oh, they are going
It's
to
not
be.
about Solomon Chipo, because Solomon Chipo is not going to be the only one in the race. Every one of us that are in the opposition now, we have one goal: to remove the incumbent because of many, many reasons which you know.
You are a member of the opposition.
If I have to, well, the line has been drawn. If I were even sympathetic with any political party because of the grassroots advocacy that they have been doing, like for example, the CDC that has a lot of our young people in it, which I admire. But now the leaders, they have drawn the line.
Before we leave you, which party are you going to be contesting on 2023?
No, I'm going as independent.
Independent
Yes,
candidate?
yes.
Why not the PPP?
No, because it's going to take a long time for us to reactivate the PPP. Remember, the party was deregistered under the early administration.
But we see the restructuring of the LPP, the Liberian People Party.
Yeah, I mean
that's another progressive party according to history.
Of course. So, well, to reactivate the party is going to require money and a lot of other stuff that you have to take into consideration. So maybe at a later date we might look at that when we are more stronger financially. But now I have to worry about District 13 people problem.
But now the politics is collaboration. You claim to come from progressive orientation.
Yeah.
Why, with maybe the absence of your PPP, one hope that you might go that of the LPP way, or is it any form of fundamental differences with the elements in the LPP that you might not want to lean their way, or you believe that going the LPP way isn't going to get you to the legislature?
No, I don't think so. I think as going as independent candidate is very good for me because based upon the political terrain, the fact that we heard people went as independent and later on came back to political party, and it was a big issue for a lot of people. Personal issue that I'm hearing from a lot of people say, yeah, people made a commitment to us that they were going to go as independent.
Just before you go,
yes,
I think we are having a call here. Let me see whether we can connect this person. It seems to be an international call. Let me see whether we can get this person coming through. Let me see. Okay. Hello, caller. Yeah, we are getting welcome to Foci Online TV. Okay. You can come again.
Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Chipo, you listen to the chorus. You listen to the chorus. You can just respond to the two questions. You can respond to the two questions. But if you are following whether through our Facebook page, whether through our YouTube channel, the number to call is on the screen is 07701311315. You can call and make your input. So, Mr. Chipo,
yes,
you can choose to take out of the questions first or last.
Thank you very much, my brother. I think the issue of whatever benefit that was supposed to come from the same mining company to the battery factory community and that of other communities that are around and being around that area and are also affected by the operations of the same mining company. I think if you heard rightly, flagged it out to the president of Liberia. These are some of the things that cause, the hatred and the animosity between community people. So it is incumbent upon us as leaders, especially the office of the current representative, to be able to amicably resolve this matter because, he is the one that we have a problem with. He is the one that has put a halt to the use of that money. He is the one that single-handedly has been doing whatever he wants to do with no bank account, with no accountability mechanism in place. So we thought it was important to use a political approach to identify the flaws and inform the president. Also, the reason for which we told the president was not just because we wanted to tell him, but if they do not do anything about it, we're going to take legal action. If we have to galvanize our people from all of the affected communities to take legal action against the office of the representative, we will do that. Because I guess that's what we have to do. We have to push them to the wall to do what they are supposed to do. That's why we are here. So it is important for us to be able to identify whatever benefit in the soonest possible time that those other communities that are around also being affected by the operations of the same mining company can realize at least something that they can use for their own development. So you raise a very important point, and it's an ongoing process, my brother. When you're dealing with high people, to get them to change their mindset, to feel that David and Goliath situation are going on here. Say you heard, you heard me talking, and a lot of people were against it, but we're going to remain in the vanguard to continue to fight and identify the solutions that we need for this problem when it comes to the communities that are affected by sand mining operation. Also, what have I done when it comes to crime and safety, ensuring the safety and security for our people, being somebody that has a military background, somebody that has a background in criminal justice. When I started our program, we firstly joined. I'm a member of the Community Watch Forum. That's the first thing I did in District 13 when we started our operations. And we've been working with the Community Watch teams directly. I am the only one that has provided support to a community like Stockton Creek, financial assistance to empower the Community Watch team. You can go and do your research and find out what I'm saying is true. To have them, even it's Atai or whatever money they can use to keep the boys up in the night, because there was a specific request from the Stockton Creek community that people were going to and burglarizing houses and stuff. So we did join in to help the Community Watch Forum to be able to take care of some of the problems that they did. Also, Chocolate City, I distributed raincoats during this rainy season and flashlights. And even the police, I've been working with the police in District 13. If you go to the Topo Village Police Depot, you will see my name inscribed at the charge of quarters. I did a project at the police depot project. Because of course I have a background in criminal justice, I must be at the forefront of trying to do what I can do with limited resources. Because we get everything. So whatever I can do to continue to help is an ongoing process. I also have more raincoats and flashlights, which I said we distributed to the Chocolate City new leadership, also the Stoughton Creek leadership. We send them almost, I think, $17,000 or $19,000 to help the Watch Forum to do some of these things. The raincoats, we're going to separate it and share some with the market women. Now that I've said it, I know some people are going to bypass me and try to go share a raincoat to market women. Now, what I do, that's why most of the time the things that I'm doing, I just deal with the people directly. I don't really talk too much when it comes to that because, of course, our people need to know what we are doing. But sometimes when we plan, like I have a very good plan coming up. But if I say yeah, now somebody will bypass me and I let it go into it. That's one of the problems that we've been facing. So we're gonna keep our plans to ourselves.
So you are considering your intentions in keeping with the foreign laws of power.
And that's why I'm showing you some instances. So thank you very much, my brother. We will try to do continue to do some of the things that we need to do to help our community. We ain't there all. Remember
with the question posed to you by the caller, as a means of promoting accountability, do you intend to pursue legal actions for maybe some of the funds being extorted out of the districts from some of his natural reserves or what have you under the leadership of El Papi Flomo?
Most definitely, because as you rightly heard, after I spoke at the president's engagement, somebody went and forced the community chairman to go on Banner FM to rebut what I said. But I wasn't the one that said what that we had 70,000. It was the representative himself on Banner FM that confirmed that the money that was that was with the company, even though it's not in your bank account, that everybody would know that we have so much amount. There is no accountability showing how much was spent during the course of the year. But so sad, the chairman of Battery Factory went to Banner FM and he tried to kill himself indirectly because they had to cut the show off because he was saying things that made no sense. He said during the rainy season and the dry season they get like $3,000 every month or $4,000. If you multiply that by the length of time he been in office, wow, do we have $70,000 now? It should have been more than that. Do the math, my brother. You've been collecting $3,000 during dry season or $4,000 during dry season and $3,000 during rainy season. And you've been in office for 18 months. If you multiply that amount, 9 months for 4,000 and 9 months for 3,000, how much is that supposed to be? So God is going to expose these people. It's not about Solomon people. It's about using the people money for their own benefit. Come 2023, I'm not going to have anything to do with community.
We having another quarter. We are having another quarter before. Let's just squeeze in this. Let's just squeeze in this. I am sure that. Hello, caller. Okay, Amos Tamba, welcome to Fokai TV. You are following the discussion.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Oh, my man, so what did you never tell you yet?
No, I'm sorry, Papa. Oh, God. Oh, should I proceed?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for your question, my brother. I think there are a lot of things that I bring to the table that the current leadership has been lacking. When it comes to, in life, they say the more the better. When it comes to education, for example, lawmaking, one of the primary responsibilities of a lawmaker, to be at the forefront of lawmaking come 2023. I am one of the most educated representative aspirant, which I think is it puts me at a better position when it comes to conducting research, when it comes to sitting down and identifying those problems that we face in our community, and what are the different assessment that we need to conduct to be able to turn those things into law. That's why I'm saying I'm advocating for the corporate social responsibility.
What makes you to say that you are the most qualified?
Well,
I believe that the Constitution qualifies everybody.
No, I'm not saying in relation to the Constitution. I'm talking about academic qualification. Because do you know the qualification of Honorable Flomo?
What is the qualification of Honorable Flomo, if you care to say?
No, I'm asking you because you are a researcher. Can you tell me?
What is the qualification of Honorable Flomo? I believe that Honorable Flomo is qualified and certified to be lawmaker elected by his people.
That's the problem we are facing. We just go. So it means because the Constitution does not have a specific requirement. That's why we're going to revisit that. We're going to update some of those things because laws are written and need to be read. You're going to tell me somebody from the farm that probably did not go to any school, they did not finish high school because they say one or two things, and then we should just elect them.
But economically, your party was hampered in terms of financial strength.
Okay.
So if we bring the issue about academic status to that of the politics, you don't think that other people like Honorable Flomo, as you claim, will be denied from representing their people?
I'm not sure if I got your question right, but what basically I'm trying to say.
The question was, I think with your representation or the kind of form of politics that you are preaching,
yes,
it is geared towards eliminating marginalization to whatever extent.
No, I disagree. I'm just saying, while it's true that a constitution does not require us to
so you are not committed to eliminating marginalization of assets.
Can I learn?
Go ahead.
I'm saying that our constitution did not specifically require us to have a certain qualification. But when you look at most of the other positions in government, ministers, deputy ministers, councils, ambassadors, most times it's only prudent to send somebody there that is well educated.
Okay.
That's some of the reason why we have the 99-year fire school contract. Because in my view, I believe there were bogus representatives in there that couldn't read and write properly, so they didn't have time to peruse those documents, those 100-page documents, very voluminous. That somebody who has been conducting research at the highest level will be patient enough to sit down and read it one by one himself. I'm not saying it to give it to somebody.
So you believe that there's a need for the revisitation of the Firestone Agreement?
Yeah, to a certain extent, but it's already passed. They did an amendment during the early administration. But I'm saying for us not to have a problem, why do we have to give our land for over 99 years? You are ineffective selling your country because you might not live long enough to reap the benefits for that contract that you signed. So I'm sure there were people there who never had time to read those documents. That's why it's important for us to have people who are educated, well educated. I mean, we've been crying for education. Why education now is a problem when we're saying it should be part of our advocacy. Don't you think it is important for
education? Boast of being one of Liberia's biggest investors since it's coming to Liberia in terms of impact. What do you make of that?
Well, I've not really followed whatever Firestone have really been doing. I know they pay taxes to government. That's basically it. I don't know. They have few benefits for people that are working there, and that's it. We need to do extensive research on them to know whether the positives and the negative, which one outweighs the other. But I think having educated leaders, whether in the past other people have made mistakes or other people did not do what they were supposed to do, should not stop us from sticking to that we should have people who are educated, so that the fear of pushing forward bills will not be there. Everybody will be free to be able to compete. But now there are some people who don't even say anything down because they are afraid. With
the RIGMA rules at Firestone in terms of administration and workers on the basis of labor and wages. There's a long-standing RIGMA rule between them. You are aware, right? We have seen instances where in Firestone workers will have to maybe agitate for certain basic social service and what have you.
Yes.
So with that, I think being cool to that and how you claim to be a form of a militant politician, you are way too radical on Honorable Flomo than you are on that of Firestone.
No, I would disagree with you. I mean, if I were to give an informed opinion, I would have to research properly, like I did the research on Flomo. You know, I've been here for a long time now. So most of the things I have to see it firsthand. I walk all around here. I go around, listen to people. People tell me things. Even people from Flomo camp, like how people from Chipo camp will walk around and say things. We hear things every day. There's no personal animosity with Flomo. Only thing that we have in common is to make sure that it's replaced come 2023, because I feel that he lacks, for example, the international connection that is required in the 21st century for a country like Liberia to be able to move the development agenda that we are talking about. Why it is true, there is no specific requirement again that say you should have international connection, but it's just an added advantage for you. Because now, for me, as a former sergeant of the United States,
Josh, we are keen with the
most
scene.
of
Josh, we are keen with the scene.
Most of the members. Can you please do that research? Most of the members of the United States Congress are past military personnel. So, if I were to constitute a committee to go to the United States Congress as their former sergeant and explain my beautiful story that I came from a country of war, that I suffered. I stayed here all through the war. I was not born in America. I stayed to Tomo Village Junction, and people used to be drinking beer, and I fold my hand on the level looking at them, because that was in my time. And my time came, and I put it into use. So and we have come, we learn from you. You show us the way out. You show us to have our sense of self-worth. We give up opportunity. We use it the better way. We have gone back to our country, which we think need us, and our people have elected us. We have come back to you because we told them that you know us. You think they're going to tell me if I as a representative, if I have a clinic set up, we build it already, to set up a 5-year plan where doctors will come from down there in District 30 in a clinic and have other Liberian doctors that will also be receiving training from them for 5 years. Because our book team we're talking about. And I'm just go talk to church and say, give me something. No, we will read a plan.
So your representation is a one that is going to be modeled after America.
It's going to be modeled with full cooperation from the United States of America, because we are trusted. We work, we serve, and we have a proven record of integrity with medals to prove for it. Because for them, you do every little thing. Thank you, Papa. They don't care whether you work to Labrador National Police. You work for 20 years, then your pension money, you can't get it.
We got to go on with Chipo.
Yes. So you know, there are a lot of things we can talk about on the issue on national issues. I'm calling in District 30.
We can take you some other time.
Okay, thank you very much.
So just your parting comment.
Well, my parting comment is I'm calling on the president of Liberia to remember what I said, that Papi Flomo is from the ruling establishment, and any bad reflection from him will harm the party. So if he's really going to be a president that's advocating for development, he wants to complete his development agenda, he needs to tell Papi Flomo, like I said, to release the community people money. Stay away from community people money. Let Patriot Factory leadership and all of the other leadership be able to get the little benefit that their community deserves. If there is any problem there, he can come in as a father and ask, gentlemen, what's going on? What happened here? Everything okay? No? Okay, no, let's do it like this. Let's do it. Just for reconciliation purposes. But when it comes to the actual management, people need to maintain their own destiny. He has a lot of other things that he can do. Let him travel to America and go ask for help. Hey, uncle can travel, Sir Joseph. Why you can follow him?
Thank you, Honorable Chibo. Thank you, Honorable Chibo. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are following, this is how we are here on Fokai TV. You listen to Honorable Solomon Shipo, the son of former Chief Justice Chair Shipo. learning his thoughts on varieties of issues happening within District Number 13, as well as sharing his experiences over the course of time and how do we intend to shift the politics within the district upon arriving to the national legislature. We see stay tuned, continue to follow TV, share our videos, like our page, and we will be back here again next Thursday with another fascinating edition of the program inside district number 13. We say thank you.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, we've checked